Hello, myself Deshmukh Sampada Lakshman. I am a student of Elite Institute of Pharma Skill Pune. Here, the clinical trial phases. This is my topic for presentation. So, what is the clinical trials? Clinical trials are trials to evaluate the effectiveness and safety of medication or medical device by monitoring their effects on the large group of people. Here, in this slide, I mention the drug development phases. Here, how the drug is proceed or developed during the market, which enter into the market. First step is the preclinical data. Next is the IND approval. Then drug enter in the phase 1 clinical trial. After phase 1 clinical trial, there is a phase 2 clinical trial, then phase 3 clinical trial, and then NDA filed, new drug application, then NDA approval, and then finally under the marketing permission, drug enter into the market. And then last step is a phase 4, that is the post-marketing surveillance. Here, prior to clinical trial, there is a preclinical trials, that is animal studies. In this preclinical trial, which are focused to factors. First is a pharmacodynamic study, second is a pharmacokinetic study. In the pharmacodynamic study, include the in vivo and in vitro preparation. And in pharmacokinetic study of absorption, distribution and elimination study of animals are included. Here, these two types of studies are involved in the preclinical trials. Then, safety, efficacy and toxicity are also taken in consideration in this preclinical trials. Next is the phases of clinical trials. Here, there are the 4 phases of clinical trial, but I mentioned the phase 0 study, which are also called as a microdosing. Here, in this table, this is a descriptive information about the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4 clinical trial. In the phase 1, the subjects are 20 to 100 in the low risk, and purpose of this phase 1 clinical trial is to safety and a doses of drug. Duration required is 1 year. In phase 2 clinical trial, 100 to 300 people or subjects are involved, and the purpose of this trial is to evaluate effectiveness, side effect or efficacy. Duration is 6 months. Phase 3, 1000 to 3000 patients or volunteers are required. Here, this trial phase is a high risk. Purpose of this phase is to verify effectiveness, monitor the adverse drug reaction into the volunteers. Duration is 3 years. Phase 4 clinical trial. Here, the purpose of phase 4 clinical trial is to long-term surveillance in broader population, which requires several years. Next is the microdosing, that is also called as a phase 0. Definition of this microdosing is study of new drug in microdosing and obtaining information in humans before entering to phase 1 clinical trials. Objective of this microdosing is to obtain the pharmacokinetic data to ensure safety and dosing range. Microdosing, that is a less than 1 to 100 dose of test substance, which calculate to produce the optimal pharmacological effect by dose in microgram. Advantage of this: first is a less chance to occur adverse reaction or effect. Second is a less number of volunteers. Third is a short duration. Limitation of this microdosing is in this study only pharmacokinetic parameters are focused, not the efficacy and safety. Next is a phase 1. It's also called as the human pharmacology. First stage of testing on humans, which involved 20 to 100 healthy volunteers. Aim of this study to determine the maximum tolerable dose. Nature of this study is unblind. Here, all the investigators, subjects, or people involved in this trial are known about this drug. Purpose of this study to how well drug tolerable in small amount of individuals. Duration required is 1 year. Types of phase: phase 1A, which involve the healthy subject. Phase 1B, healthy disease subject. Some of the phase 1 trial include the single ascending dose study, multiple ascending dose study and ADM study. Phase 2, Phase 2 is also called as a Therapeutic Exploratory trial. Here, the 100 to 300 volunteers are included. Aim of this study to evaluate the effectiveness, side effect and efficacy. Nature of this study is single blind, placebo control or active control. Purpose or goal of this study is determination of treatment has any biological activity, estimation of biological activity. Duration is 6 months to several years. Here there are two types of this study. Phase 2A, designed to assess the dosing. Phase 2B, designed to study the efficacy. Phase 2A is also called as a pilot clinical trial. Phase 2B also called as a pivotal clinical trial. Here in Phase 2A, 20 to 200 patients involved, and in Phase 2B, 50 to 300 patients are involved. This is a single blind compared to standard drug. This is a double blind compared to placebo or standard drug. Phase 3, Therapeutic confirmatory trial. Aim of the study to verify the effectiveness and to monitor the adverse drug reaction. Purpose is to whether the drugs show beneficial effect or not and check the ADR. Nature is a double blind. Duration is 3 years. Here the subtype of this Phase 3 trial, Phase 3A, to get the significant data prior to NDA. Generate data on safety and efficacy. Phase 3B, additional safety data after the NDA. Next is the new drug application. Here NDA stands for new drug application, formal proposal to FDA or DCGI to approve new drug for sale. Sufficient evidence provided to FDA to establish drug is safe and effective. Purpose labeling is appropriate. NDA contain all information gathered during the preclinical to Phase 3. Last phase is a Phase 4. It is also called as a post-marketing surveillance. No fixed duration or patient population involved in this study. After approval of NDA, drug can enter into the market. Helps to detect the adverse drug reaction, drug interaction, etc. Clinical trials translate result of basic scientific research into the better way to prevent, diagnose or treat the disease. Periodic safety update report to be submitted by manufacturer every 6 months for 2 years and then annually for next 2 years after the marketing approval. Harmful effect discovered may result in the drug being longer sold or restricted to certain uses. Last slide is summary. Here, the clinical trial is a human experiment, as we all know, designed to study safety and efficacy of new drug. Clinical trials involve the 4 phases, 1 to 4. Phase 0 is also as a part of this study, which also referred as a microdosing, having the specific objective and purpose. Application to regulatory authority is required. ND is also called as a new investigational new drug application. IND is also called as the investigational new drug application, and NDA stand for new drug application. Ultimate goal to drug development and drug approval. Thank you.